So anyways, I'm in this fucking cell, and I'm like just being funny and trying to make people laugh, and like, and this guy this is the first time. I mean, it took me about a day to get here, but it's my first night in my actual like lodgings, you know. And there's this guy at the end of the tier, and he's yelling. His name's Olson. I still remember this is his first night. He's yelling. He goes, "Fuck the niggers, fuck the spics, fuck the red and white, like all this shit, right?" And he's a white guy, and I haven't even seen him. He's in cell 4, I'm in cell 1, and it's all along a tier, a hallway. So I just hear him yelling that. And so basically what happens is a white guy, since he's white, has to beat him up, because since he's insulting other races, it could cause a race riot. Right. So the shot caller's like, fuck this fucking Olson. Like, now I got to, because the shot caller, it's his duty to take care of it, you know? And he's like, I gotta fucking do something. And he turns to me, he's like, hey, like, new fish, like, you want to be my Falcon? He's like, oh, you want to take care of this guy for me? And I'm like, yeah, like, why not? Like, sure. And I was like, and I'm fucking terrified, dude. It was the first night. And I'm like, what do I...
The first night he asked you to...
I've been there for 3 hours, right?
You will be my Falcon.
Yeah.
And I will
He was a fucking really funny guy.
The Falconer.
He's like, I'm like, yeah, I'll fucking do it. I was like, what do I need to do? And he's like, well, he's like, when they pop the doors for chow tomorrow morning, he's like, just run down, beat him up, and then take his bed, his mattress, and throw it out on the tier. And he's like, I'll handle the rest. And what happens is the shot caller is actually friends with the guards, and they'll go up to the guards and be like, look, you got to roll Olson out. He's causing trouble. It's going to create a riot. And the guards will actually listen to the shot caller because they just want to fucking sit and watch TV. They don't want riots going off because the shot callers actually try to keep the peace. So they actually work with the guards, right? So I'm like, so I just beat. I'm like, who is he? He's like, big guy with the beard, cell 4. I'm like, all right, like, so I sit on my bunk and all fucking night, I don't go to sleep. I'm like sitting Indian side on my bunk, like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? And like,
so I mean, that must be a fucking scary scenario. You've never done anything.
I was terrified. I was fucking.
What were you thinking? Were you thinking I'm
going
to tap him on the shoulder and punch him in the face?
I didn't know. I was so scared, dude. I sat on my bunk the whole night, didn't go to sleep. So the next morning, chow's at like 5 a.m. What happens is chow time, everybody stands and waits in their cell for the door to open. And they pop the door open, you go out, you take a left on the tier, and you walk down to go to chow. And so I'm fucking standing first person in the door, and then there's 3 people behind me in the cell, the shot caller and then the 2 other guys. And I'm fucking terrified. And they roll the doors open for chow. I run out to the right, and I'm not running down the tier, but I'm like walking briskly, you know what I mean? Because like if you run, then they're going to know something's up. And the fucking guy, Justin, the shot caller, my bunkie, passes me. And he runs into cell 4 where Olson was, and the other dudes that were with Olson, his other 3 cellmates, immediately run out of the cell. They immediately run out. Justin goes in first, and I go behind Justin. The guy immediately balls up on his bunk, you know what I mean? Like puts his hand over his thing, and Justin just starts wailing him, like punching on him. I literally sneak one weak ass girly punch like around Justin and like tap the guy on the back. I do nothing like at all, right? And then we come out on the tier. And everybody's like, yeah.
New fish, new fish, new fish.
Good job. It just worked out very nicely.
I want to take a walk around the world. I wonder would it do me any good? Until I get some money in my pocket, then I guess I'll just have to walk around my neighborhood.